So we were at the non-contact diagnostics. In the previous class, we have studied the verification of the tool path. The tool path has been verified using the graphical numeric control simulation software so that it draws the correct tool path considering the tool offset as well as considering the radius of the tool so that the specimen should not be undercut and hence provide the actual quality and actual dimensions and size of the product after the manufacturing. And uh, next is the non-contact diagnostics. So in the non-contact diagnostics, we have installed the CCTV cameras and other uh, uh, video cameras so as to capture the whole of the operation that has been carried out by the spindle as well as the tool on the specimen. So the CCTV camera is capturing the motion from all the angles. That is, it is capturing the area of the cutting area. That is, it is also uh, having the diagnostics on the stationary as well as the moving components, and all the movements have been scanned by using that CCTV camera, which is being interfaced by a full flag PC, and that has already stored the correct geometry and size of the part. So it is matching the already stored correct geometry and the size of the part, and it is comparing the correct geometry with the operation with or the tool path which is being currently performed on the specimen. So it is basically that's why it is called a non-contact diagnostic, because it is comparing the already stored correct geometry with the operation which is being carried out on the workpiece. So next is the maintenance of the CNC machine. So you all know the maintenance of every machine is required from the durability or reliability or the precision point of view. So the CNC machines are basically designed and built to have the superior performance that compared to the conventional machine tools. So like if you are using desktop computer or they certainly require less maintenance, but if you are using the laptops, they certainly require more maintenance as compared to the desktop computers due to their delicate nature or due to their compactness in the size, and hence they are providing the superior performance to you. So similarly, in the case of the machines, if you are using the CNC machines, they are more delicate. They are more basically they are dependent on the functioning of the MCUs, that is machine control unit, and hence machine control unit is the heart. Uh, Let us say you can say it is the brain of the machine, which is controlling all the set of instructions and as well as performing and performing all the operations and fetching the tool from the tool library and changing the workpiece uh, and changing all the cutting conditions like feed rate, speed rate, and the rate of lubrications and the coolant which is being provided at the cutting zone. So the maintenance of CNC machines is of important aspect. That is why we will get the superior product, and also there should not be any downtime. That is, there should not be any idle time. There should not be any breakdown while the performing any operation on the workpiece. So the maintenance of the CNC machine is very much importance. Downtime of these machines should be kept to a minimum so as to reduce the and realize the economic advantages of this technology in full. So if our machine is performing well, it is providing the mm, manufacturing operation at the accurate level and producing the product at the high quality products. So this maintenance of CNC machines is of very much of importance. So how we will do or how we will provide the maintenance to a CNC machines. So the main objectives to provide a preventive maintenance to a CNC machines that it will maximize the machine availability and it will reduce the downtime, that is called the breakdown time. That is, if there is any error may occur during the operation or after the operation is being carried out on the CNC machines, then that error must be rectified before performing the next kind of operation. And similarly, if you are maintaining the CNC machines, it will provide you the accurate positioning, accurate geometry to the workpiece, and also it is providing a durability, that is called the increasing the service life of the machines. So maintenance, what does maintenance include? So if you have your bike and you go to a service stations or your to a mechanic to have maintenance of your bike, then at every service you can say the mechanic is changing your lubricant oil after every 20 500 kilometer of your run of your bike, and it is cleaning your coolant tank, it is cleaning the radiator, it is cleaning the filters or replacing the filters, and also checking or adjusting the levels of your machines. It is checking the functioning of your brake levers, checking the clutch levers. So these kind of maintenance steps basically include while you are going for a service of your bike. So similarly, if you are maintaining your CNC machines, it also include to clean the coolant tank and the radiator, and it is draining the old or the less viscous hydraulic oil, and then filling the fresh hydraulic oil into the machine and cleaning the hydraulic tank and replacing the air and the hydraulic filters, then replacing and cleaning the lubrication unit, and finally, at not least, checking and adjusting the leveling of your machine. So these are some certain steps that are being taken during the maintenance of the CNC machine. So for the maintenance, there are certain kind of schedules have been fixed by the supervisors to have the regular check on the machines. Like for checking the machines and maintaining the machines, they have the daily schedules, they have the weekly preventive maintenance schedules, and also they have the some kind of monthly and yearly preventive maintenance schedules. So in daily schedules, every worker has to check the oil, every worker has to check the pressure gauge, and tool props, and the turret check, and the location of the spindles before starting the machines during the start of the shift. Like if the industry is working in three shifts, that is A, B, and C, that is in the 8 hours of three shifts of 8 hours daily, then at the start of every shift, the worker has to check the oil, has to check the pressure gauge, and has to check the location of the forza chuck as well as the spindle of the tool. So these kinds of activities falls in the category of the daily schedules. Next is the weekly preventive maintenance. So in the weekly preventive maintenance, the worker has to visually check the leakage of the oil, the cleanliness of the filters, and the viscosity of the lubricant which is being used in the uh, cutting zone. So these kind of activities falls in the category of the weekly preventive maintenance. Next is the monthly or the yearly preventive maintenance. So the activities like cleaning the coolant equipment, alignment of the machine, checking the vibrations that are being dying out in the using any uh, cushioning effects, and also cleaning the hydraulic oil, checking the clamping, hydraulic operation of the chucks, and checking the frequency of the hydraulic oil change, and uh, changing the air filter, changing the oil filter. So cleaning the coolant and checking the all other arrangements which have not been done, and all other activities which have not been done during the daily or the weekly maintenance schedules. So these kinds of maintenance, like if you are going for a service of your bike, this falls in the monthly preventive maintenance. But if you are checking your uh, fuel, then it may falls in the category of the weekly preventive maintenance. That if you are filling your fuel tank weekly, then after a week or before a week should end, you have to check the oil tank. In the daily schedule, you can just clean your bike, you can just clean your seat, you can just check the brake or clutch, you can just check the pressure, or you can just adjust the check the stand of your bike. So these kinds of activities may fall in the daily schedule or daily preventive maintenance schedules in the case of the bike. So similarly, in the case of the CNC machines, these were the activities which are regularly to be checked as per the schedule designed by the supervisor for the preventive maintenance of the CNC machines, whether it may fall in the category of the daily schedule, weekly, or in the monthly or yearly preventive maintenance schedules. This comes to end the chapter of problems in CNC machines. So next we are starting with the important chapter of our syllabus that is called automation and the NC machine, which is the second last chapter. So are the next slides are visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next chapter is automation and NC systems. So what is automation? Automation is nothing but removing the human assistance. That is, if you are calling about, if you're talking about CNC machine, that is, it's just you are entering a set of instructions, you are entering a set of program into the system. It is just performing all the operation on the single specimen without the assistance of the any worker or any engineer on the CNC machines. So you can say this is the technology by which a process or step is being fulfilled in the absence of engineers or the workers. So all the operations have been carried out with the help of set of instructions which have been entered using a MCU, or you can say machine control unit, that execute all these set of instructions using a certain machine language. So it may be defined as a technology that concerned with the application of, you can say, mechanical, electronic, computer based system to operate and control the production system. So this is basically mechatronics and also the systems of the computer-based system. So what is a computer-based system? That is the MCU is being installed. You are using the machine language. You are using G codes, M codes in the form of machine codes and as well as the miscellaneous codes, so that set of instructions or programs are being written in the form of G codes and M codes, and machine is understanding that machine G codes and M codes and executing these set of instructions into the products and performing the certain kind of operations on the specimen. So this is the called the industrial automation. With the help of these CNC machines in the industry, we are achieving industry 4.0, and so that the industries are becoming more competitive in the global market. And uh, that's why we're getting a new product, we're getting new component of every product in just 15 days, or after every month we are getting new model of your mobile. So this is possible only due to the industrial automation which is happening in the industry. That is, we are in the era of industry 4.0, where we are removing the human assistance. Because why we are removing the human assistance? Because due to the human assistant, there may be an error may occur during any performing any kind of operations. But if you have entered a correct set of instructions, set kind of set or the correct kind of program instructions, that then that set of instruction will execute the exact set of instructions to the specimen and perform that particular kind of operation by the tool. So, but in the conventional machines, we were totally dependent, or the industry was totally dependent on the humans or the efficiency of the workers. If the worker was skilled, then the operation will be performed will be accurate, will always be accurate. But and also the system was the open loop system in the case of the conventional machines, whereas in the case of the CNC machine, they generally works on the principle of a closed loop control system. That is, what is the meaning of closed loop system? That is, they are providing the continuous feedback to the uh, user or to the worker who is performing the operation on the machine, or who is controlling that machine. So with the help of the closed loop control system, it is providing the feedback system. That is, it is providing the online fault diagnostic systems, that it is providing whether the operation is performing accurately or not. And it is not, it is generally removing the human assistance. It is generally removing the involvement of the human during any operation. So we can say that this technology is based on the application of mechanical components, electronic components, and electronic components are what? The sensors and transducers, piezometrics, or photocells, all are the electronic components. Mechanical components are what? The specimen, the tool spindle, forja chuck turrets, beds, longitudinal axis, transverse axis, that all falls in the category of the mechanical components. Whereas the MCUs or the DNC systems or the Ethernet systems, when we are connected the machines in the serial connection using a networking connection, using a Ethernet connection, then that system is a basically computer based system. So you can say CNC machine is the combination of mechanical, electronic, and the computer based system that is operating and controlling the productions without the assistance of workers, and hence removing any chance of errors. So how the automation is being done in the industry? There are basically three types of automations. First one is the fixed automation, second is programmable automation, and last we will read will be the flexible automation systems. So what is the fixed automation system? This is a system in which the sequence of processing operation is being decided by the equipment configurations. So how this is the fixed automation, that is it cannot be altered, it cannot be modified. So this is only dependent or only being decided by the programmer who has designed the set of instructions through the R in the while sitting in the R&D department. So worker has no control on the alteration of the set of instructions that may be required during the any change in the operation, or that may be required during the any uh, alteration during the operation which is being carried out on the specimen. So fixed automation generally involves high production costs, high initial investment is required for the fixed automations, and relatively it is inflexible, because if there is any change in the demand from the customer side, so if a customer wants let us say customer wants a mobile of 48 MP mobile with a camera of 48 megapixel, but suddenly the customer demand has came that is of the 64 megapixel camera. So there is some alteration in the demand of the customer, so that uh, with the help of the fixed automation you cannot relatively adapt that demand of the adapt that altered demand of the customer. So this fixed automation is basically relatively inflexible whenever there is a need of the alteration in the design of the product. So this fixed automation also require the skilled worker, that is if there is any uh, change may be required, that may be intimated to the R&D department through the skilled worker. If the worker will not be skilled, they cannot communicate their requirement to the R&D department. So in the case of the fixed automation, we require always require skilled workers for running that CNC machines. And this fixed automation is only suitable for the mass production. What is mass production? That is you are producing one of a kind similar kind of products in the bulk quantity, that is called the mass production. That is you are producing a similar kind of pen in the large quantity or in the bulk quantity, that is called the mass production. That is there is no chances of modification or alteration can be done in the case of the fixed automation. Next is the programmable automation. So programmable automation is a system in which the production equipments are designed with the ability to change the sequence of operation and to accommodate the different product types. In the case of the programmable automation, you can see we can alter or we can change the sequence of operation. Let us say we have to perform 5 kind of operations on a specimen. Let us say in the sequence of 2 1 4 3 5, and let us say there is a change in the demand from the customer and you have to perform the sequence and you have to change the sequence of operation. That is now we have to perform the sequence in this way, that is 1 2 4 3 5. Then that alteration can be made in the programmable automation, which was not possible in the case of the fixed automation. So that programmable automation is the flexible one. It can adapt the change in the sequence operation, and also it can adapt the different design and different kind of products. If there is any change in the demand from the customer or any change in the demand from the R&D side, then the worker can do that alteration from the machine and alter that sequence operation and provide that uh, different kind of product as per the requirement of the customers as well as the requirement from the other departments. So what is the advantages of the programmer automation? We have the low production rates, but there is always a disadvantage of the automation, that it always require very high initial investment, because the CNC machines and the skilled workers are always costly to the industry, but they are helpful in meeting the global competitiveness in the market. And also the programmable automation is flexible in dealing the any change in the production needs. What is the dealing in what do you mean by production needs? That is if there is a demand of, let us say you are producing 100 kinds of products in a month, and if there is a change in the demand of the from the customer side, that is if the customer wants 500 kind of products and 500, that is a quantity of the similar kind of product, then that production needs can be met by using the programmable automation, which was not possible in the case of the flexible fixed automation. And also this programmable automation is suitable for the batch production, it is not suitable for the mass production. You can always have the focus on the mass production, because similar kind of product is always be cheaper when you are producing large number of quantity of a similar kind of product, then it always be a cheaper one to you. But you cannot meet the customer alterations by using the fixed automation. So industries are moving to the nowadays to the programmable automation so as to meet the any change in the sequence of operations that may be required, and accommodating different kinds of products and different kinds of product types by using it programmable automations. Last one is the flexible automation. This is basically the extension of the programmable automation, and in this the variety of products can quickly be changeable from one product to the another. That is, let us say you are producing five kind of product in a month, and if there is a change in that particular kind of product, let us say the change in requirement change is being required in product number 2 and product number 3, then that variety of product can be easily be met by using the flexible automation. It is the just advanced version of the programmable automation, and its features are basically it is providing the products at the very reasonable rates. And because if the quantity is less and alteration is more, that is, you want more variety but with the less production rate, but with the lesser quantity, then that can be met using the flexible automation, which was not possible in the fixed as well as in the programmable automation. And also uh, they are providing the continuous production of the variety of products, and also dealing with the any variation in the product design which is being required from the consumer side. So you can understand this the three kinds of automation from this figure. You can see at the y-axis we have the product variety, and on the x-axis we have the product volume. And product volume is varies from low to high, and that is parts per year the industry is producing, the number of parts per year. And on the y-axis we have the product variety, that is the number of different kinds of parts that the industry is producing per year. So you can see the programmable automation is just providing us the variety. It is not providing us the product volume, that is, it is not providing us the quantity of the product. So it may be more costlier as compared to the flexible as well as the fixed automation. Whereas in the case of the fixed automation, you can see we are getting only the high quantity or the large quantity product, but we cannot have any variety. We cannot achieve the variety in the case of the fixed automation. Whereas you can see the flexible automation is lies in between the variety, in between the programmable as well as the fixed automation. That is, we are getting optimum or the nominal variety at the nominal cost, and as well as we are getting the nominal product quantity by using the or by installing the flexible automation system in the industry. But if you only focus on the programmable automation, you will only get the variety, but you cannot have the product volume. If you are not getting the product volume but only getting the product variety, then it will increase your maintenance cost, it will increase your investment cost, and it will always increase the cost of that particular product which you are producing. But if we are focusing for the mass production, if you are focusing, then we are installing a fixed automation in our industry. In that case, we are only getting the product volume, that is, you are getting the product in the mass production, you are getting the product in the large quantity, but you don't have any variety within the product and within the component of that product. So that variety cannot be met in the case of the fixed automation. But to meet the today's market scenario, that is, that wants the product volume as well as the product variety, then we must have to install flexible automation in our industry, that is nominally focusing on the variety as well as on the product volume, variety and as well as on the quantity of the product. So flexible automation is lying in between the variety, that is we can get the optimum amount of variety as well as optimum amount of quantity by using that flexible automation. So for today's lecture, I think this is sufficient.